Not every AI idea deserves to be built. This framework helps you filter opportunities with one key question. Does AI create a real advantage? Better performance, smarter automation, or scalable value? Or is it just a gimmick? We've already tested whether an idea is worth building. Real pain, paying customers, urgency, feasibility, and demand. Now we add the AI advantage filter. This helps separate ideas where AI creates meaningful value from ideas where it is just decoration. After that, we'll test MVP feasibility. AI is not valuable simply because it is AI. The filter asks a blunt question. Does this create a measurable advantage? If it makes work faster, better, cheaper, or more scalable, keep exploring. If it only feels novel, it is probably just an AI wrapper. Most strong AI startup ideas create advantage in one of three ways. First, workflow compression, turning a painful chain of steps into a faster, more automated flow. Second, specialist assistance, helping a specific role make better decisions with context, rather than giving generic chatbot answers. Third, business memory, capturing scattered knowledge from emails, calls, documents, and systems, then making it usable. The most interesting opportunities often combine these. An AI tool might remember customer history, advise a sales rep, and automate the follow-up workflow. That combination is where defensibility starts to appear. One clear way AI creates value is by compressing workflows. Picture a process where people read emails, open PDFs, copy details, summarize notes, classify requests, update systems, and send follow-ups. None of those steps is mysterious, but together they consume hours. AI changes the shape of the work. It can take messy inputs, extract what matters, draft the next action, and route it into the right system. The promise is not magic. It is fewer handoffs, less retyping, and minutes of focused output instead of hours of coordination. Good workflow compression starts with pattern recognition. Look for work that happens often, at meaningful volume, and under pressure. The best candidates usually involve messy information. Emails, PDFs, tickets, forms, spreadsheets, or notes that people must copy, interpret, summarize, or reformat. Then ask what delay costs the business. If faster handling improves sales response, customer service, compliance, or cash collection, the workflow deserves attention. But be selective. Rare tasks, low-value tasks, and processes already handled by basic rules-based automation are usually distractions. The goal is not to automate everything. It is to compress the bottlenecks that matter. Imagine a local plumbing company after a storm. Calls, emails, and forms arrive all at once. Instead of a person sorting everything manually, AI reads each request, spots emergencies, captures details, and drafts the first reply. It can route a burst pipe to the on-call technician or offer booking times for routine work. The win is not just automation. It is faster response, fewer missed leads, and more jobs booked. Strong AI products usually are not AI for everyone. They are assistants built for a specific job. A clinic admin, property manager, accountant, teacher, or recruiter each has different tasks, language, rules, and goals. When AI understands that context, the value becomes much clearer. It feels less like a chatbot and more like an extra trained team member helping the role get work done. A useful specialist assistant starts with one role, not a vague audience. Pick a customer, then map their daily work in detail. What do they decide? What do they draft? What do they prioritize when time is short? Next, anchor the product in their real materials, the forms, reports, messages, systems, and vocabulary they already use. Then choose one narrow action that creates obvious value. For a property manager, that might be triaging maintenance requests and drafting tenant replies. Validate the outputs with real users before adding broader features. Specificity is what makes the assistant feel useful. Consider a property manager starting the morning with dozens of tenant messages. A specialist assistant can separate a noise complaint from an urgent leak, suggest the right priority, and draft a clear tenant reply. It can also prepare vendor instructions and owner updates, while checking lease terms and property notes for context. The manager still makes the decisions, but routine coordination becomes faster, more consistent, and less exhausting. Most companies already have the knowledge they need. The problem is that it is buried in everyday work: emails, chats, calls, PDFs, spreadsheets, forms, and CRM notes. AI can act like a memory layer across all of it. It pulls out customer names, commitments, decisions, deadlines, risks, and follow-up actions that humans may forget or never see. Once extracted, that information becomes structured and searchable. The business can ask better questions, recover context faster, and turn scattered activity into reliable action. Business memory becomes valuable when raw communication turns into operating structure. A call transcript, email thread, or support note may contain names, companies, dates, dollar amounts, products, and problems. AI extracts those entities, then connects them to existing customer or operational records. From there, conversations become summaries, decisions, tasks, reminders, and workflows. Just as important, each structured answer should keep a reference back to its source. That traceability helps people verify the output, trust it, and use it in real business decisions. In a clinic, business memory becomes very practical. Appointment requests, insurance questions, referral notes, and patient messages often live in separate systems. I can pull those threads together, summarize what happened, and highlight the next admin action. It might flag a missing intake form, a coverage issue, or a scheduling conflict. The value is not replacing staff judgment. It is reducing drop tasks, speeding coordination, and giving patients a smoother experience. Use the AI advantage filter before falling in love with an idea. First, ask whether AI compresses a painful workflow. Does it remove steps, reduce waiting, or simplify decisions? Next, ask whether it acts like a specialist assistant for a clear role, with context-specific outputs that generic tools cannot provide. Then ask whether it creates business memory by capturing scattered knowledge and turning it into repeatable action. Strong startup ideas often score well in more than one area, but they still need clear users, valuable outputs, and measurable business impact. Otherwise, the idea is just an interesting demo. The big lesson is simple. Choose ideas where AI makes the solution meaningfully better. Look for long workflows to compress, specialists to assist, or business memory to capture. Then connect that advantage to real customer pain. If the result is faster, clearer, and more scalable, you may have a viable AI product. Next, we test whether it can actually be built.